Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Razak at CMTrading. Today is March 21st, 2023, and today is Tuesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, the U.S. markets broke higher, and as a result, this morning, not only in session yesterday, but also this morning, the markets did rally again. Now, this is pre-tomorrow's FOMC rate statement, but looking at today's economic events, so at 2:30 South African time out of Canada, we have a core price index for the Canadian dollar. Now, looking at the Forex symbols, we're looking into today's session, and it's pretty much mixed, but we'll go over the Canadian dollar. Now, looking at the U.S. markets, the Dow Jones breaks out higher from 32,700, that Fibonacci retracement level, and the NASDAQ also looks to break out. Now, looking at commodities, gold trades lower while oil rebounds, and looking at the stocks, Microsoft fell down yesterday, but the rest of the stocks look like they're mixed. Now, lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin holding on to its gains. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. We're going to start out with the Euro USD, and as you can see, it's pretty much consolidating, okay? It's been a high of 110-ish level, and right now we're at 107. There's a minor resistance at this 107 level, which we've hit before in the past. And although that we're retracing down from 110, this has been a decent move as it's going and looking to get a little bit stronger versus US dollar. Now, the FOMC rate statement tomorrow is going to be the telling sign about the direction of the euro versus the USD. Looking at the Canadian dollar after today's CPI. Now, the Canadian dollar had a resistance at that 39-ish level, low 39-ish level, and we see it. Okay, I don't have to highlight it even, but I will, just because I think it's important to notice this, especially as we go into today's number. There we go. That's the resistance-ish level. And if we look at it, we'll see that it did retrace down to support-ish level as we go into the CPI number today. So keep that in mind as this is still unfolding. Now, looking at the other major markets, looking at gold retracing at 1992 at that $2,000 level. And as we look at the other majors, okay, looking at crude oil, bouncing from that 64, 65 level to 68 and crossing an important threshold of that 30-day moving average. Now, jumping into the U.S. markets, Dow Jones, look at that, above that 32,500 where we had that Fibonacci retracement. Now, we haven't been at this level since the beginning of March, which is an important element for us to be in. And as we're correcting there, looking at the NASDAQ also, double top here and at resistance and not breaking higher. Now, this is mostly due to Microsoft. If we looked at Microsoft, it tumbled from 280 down to 271. And that's a decent descent for Microsoft and a correction on the downside. Now, as we look at the other major stocks, they're pretty much trading sideways, okay? Apple gaining some movement on the upside, so there's a little bit of a divergence there. So let's see if it does get that momentum. It may break out higher, okay? If we look at Tesla, also consolidating out that area. If we look at Microsoft, we mentioned, but if we look at Facebook, this one is also a major one, where it's hovering around its highs, not really retracing. And if we look at Google and Amazon, those are also very important. Amazon's been stronger recently, and so is Google. As we look at it, it's been on its high of 101 after breaking that $100 area. Now, this is being resilient. Okay, now it's still trading in a range and want to see some follow through. So Apple may do that for us today. So keep that on your site. And lastly, looking at Bitcoin, trading at 27,979 and showing some decent strength. Now, I can't emphasize this enough. Tomorrow is FOMC, so it's going to be a little bit choppy. And there's going to be misdirection just like there was yesterday and today. Even though the futures are going higher, the stocks are still, you know, they're choppy. Not everything is going together. So keep that in mind as we go into tomorrow's session. This is Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.